Well, my darlings, hello! I am so glad that you're here. Yeah, Mona's, she's in the kitchen right now. She's drawing a few pictures, and, I thought I'd take a quiet moment to check the messages on my answering machine. Yeah, so come and sit with your Nana, and let's check the messages. Well, let's see who left me a little ring-a-ding today.
Hi, Nana. My name is Cristina and I'm a Spanish girl who is living in Belgium 3 years ago. Adapting to a new country and language is not easy, but I have discovered Nanaland, and you, Mona, Russell, and Mr. Wuka are helping me a lot to feel more safe, calm, and loved. I would love to receive some advice from my dear Nana. Nothing will make me more excited and more motivated to continue. Thank you. I love you.
Oh, well, Christina, my darling, you moved to a whole new country. That's not just brave, that is heroic. Yeah, and you did something most grown-ups wouldn't even dare, and I am so very proud of you. I really am. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay if things feel a little bit strange, because that just means that your heart is making room for new places and new faces and new joys. Yeah, and I know. Yes, it can be hard. It really can. But remember this, my darling. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be you. And that is enough. It really is. Now here's a little trick, though. Before bed, name one thing that you did that you learned that day. Even if it's small, like reading a sign and understanding what it means, or maybe even using a new word in a conversation, even if it came out a little bit funny. Maybe you gave directions to a tourist. It all counts because you're building confidence. Yeah, and confidence is just like baking. You might burn a few cakes or forget the sugar or something like that, but bit by bit, you get the hang of it. And one day, it'll feel like you've been baking your entire life. Yeah, just keep stirring that flour, my darling. And remember, the most important and interesting people that I know, they felt a little lost, but they kept going anyway. Yeah, you're doing better than you think. Yeah, you really are. And please, have a Belgian waffle for me. Okay, next message.
Hi Nana, this is Emma. I made a Christmas costume for Mona a couple of years ago. I just wanted to say that I love you all and this is such a sweet opportunity. I just wanted to ask if you had any advice about anxiety. When I'm anxious, I do tend to watch a lot of Nanaland. But I wondered if you had any tips or advice that come from you. So thank you.
Oh, gracious. Emma, you wonderful girl. Thank you so much for that Christmas costume. As you know, Mona just loves it. Every time we take it out at Christmas, she just won't take it off. She even sleeps in it. It's true. Oh, and I have to tell you, you are so talented. You are so talented, and honestly, you could outknit any Nana that I know. Now let's talk about you feeling anxious. Yeah, I know, my sweet dumpling, that is very hard. It can be, but you're not alone. No, because I feel that way too. I really do. Lots of people do. And when I feel that way, I kind of remind myself that worry is like a rocking chair. Lots of moving, but you don't get anywhere. So when you feel those feelings, maybe you should just take a little Emma time. Yeah. You know what? You could just, breathe in like you're smelling some cookies. And then breathe out like you're trying to cool them off. Yeah. Yeah, when Mona feels anxious, we make a little calm corner with books and crayons and soft music, or sometimes we go outside and just listen to the birds outside, and try to just focus on the birds. Yeah, and it really does help. Yeah. Oh, and also, some good Emma time, could be done with knitting. Yeah, don't forget about your knitting, because it's the perfect quiet time, but with sweaters at the end. Yeah. But most of all, I want you to remember something. You are brave, you are strong, and anxieties pass. They really do. And talking about your feelings and asking for help, well, that's just your braveness showing up. Yeah. Well, I hope that helps, and we love you right back. We really do, Emma. Mona and Russell and all of us here at Nanaland, you are part of the Nana fam now. And that's forever, my darling. Thanks for calling. Oh, take the next message.
Hello, Nana. How are you? I want to ask you, what do you do when someone is not nice to you or mean? I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.
Well, Gabriella, if someone's being mean to you, first of all, you have to remember something. It says a lot more about them than it does about you, okay? Now, my Nana, if you were rude to my Nana, she would have made you sit on the porch with nothing but a dry cracker until they cooled off. Yeah, but times have changed, so instead what I'm going to suggest is to be calm and be kind, but be clear. Yeah, you can say, that wasn't kind and I don't like it. And if you feel up to it, maybe you can say, are you all right? Because you seem a little bit upset. Because sometimes rude people are rude because maybe they're having a bad day. You don't even know. It doesn't make it okay, but they may be having a bad day. But if they keep up being rude, well, my darling, you just walk away. Just walk away because you've got better things to do than stand around where kindness isn't. Yeah. like going to give a hug to someone who deserves it. Like you right now. So I hope you want to give yourself a nice big hug. Yeah, thank you for your message, and I hope you have a better day tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, next message.
Hi, Nana. My name is Olivia, and I work in the public every day. I just wanted advice on the best way to deal with mean and difficult people. I love you guys.
Oh, Olivia, my sweet, sweet girl. I know that working with the public can be tough. I used to be an airline stewardess. It's true. And I know that the world can be rude and unkind and downright mean sometimes. Yeah. But you listen to your Nana, okay? You are not the problem. And you know what? You don't even have to carry other people's bad moods around like a heavy purse. And when those folks are rude, that's about them, not about you. Yeah, which is exactly why you need to hear this, okay? You listen to your Nana. You are wonderful. You are just as important as anyone who walks through that door. You deserve kindness always. And you know what? Don't let them make you forget that, okay? Because it's true. Sometimes you might have to step outside and take a breath, maybe get a little sunshine, but you have to remind yourself that I matter too. Okay? You are strong, you matter, and don't let the world make you feel small, okay? Okay, my sweet rose petal. Thanks for calling. Okay, we're gonna find out the next message.
Good morning, Nana. This is Deborah. My question is, what is your favorite thing to cook? I've noticed you're always cooking so many yummy food on Nanaland. So, what is your favorite thing to cook? And also, what is your favorite thing to cook for Mona? I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.
Oh, Deborah, what a delicious question. My favorite thing to cook? Easy. Lasagna, hands down. Yeah, it's cozy and cheesy, and it feeds a crowd. Yeah. I always say that lasagna is a bit like a group hug you can eat. Yeah, it's got layers like life, and it brings everyone to the table, even the grumpy ones who swore they weren't hungry. Yeah, and as my Nana used to say, you can't have a family argument when everyone's full of lasagna. Yeah, and it makes the house smell like love and oregano. Oh, and the leftovers, well, they are even better the next day. Kind of like an old friend, but saucier. Yeah, now, Mona, yeah, she adores a grilled cheese. Yeah, but you have to cut them into animal shapes. Yeah, and one always has to be a dolphin. It's true. I tried cutting a giraffe once into her grilled cheese, but she fed it to Russell in protest. He was very happy that day, I can tell you. She's also very fond of banana bread with chocolate chips, and she calls it, get this, she calls it Nana cakes. Yeah, but that's the fun of it, isn't it, Deborah? Cooking for people you love isn't about being fancy. It's about making them feel at home. Yeah, even if it means going on the computer and the infraweb to learn how to turn bread into a dolphin. Thanks for your question. Next message.
Hi Nana, how are you? I just wanted to let you know that I'm neurodivergent and autistic and get super sensory overloaded a lot. And coming home after a long hard day and watching Nanalan and hanging out with you and Mona is really, really regulating for me and really, really calming. And you brought a lot of joy and peace in my life. So I wanted to say thank you. And that would be my question. What advice would you give to people that are struggling after a really, really long, hard day and are overthinking a lot? And what advice would you give? Thank you so much.
Oh, Sam. Gracious, Sam, I know how you feel. I really do. After a long, hard day when your thoughts just don't slow down and they're just spinning around like socks in a dryer, I want you to listen to your Nana, okay? You don't have to fix everything tonight. You really don't. Sometimes when my head is so full, I just say, all right, that's enough for now. And you know what? If something is really bothering me, then I write it down, and so I can worry about it tomorrow. As my Nana used to say, if your kettle is boiling too much, then it's time to take it off the heat. Yeah, and what that means is you gotta give yourself permission to take a break. That's allowed, Yeah. Maybe you can go and wrap yourself up in a nice warm blanket or listen to something calm or watch something that makes you laugh, like a certain little green girl you and I both know. or you can do what Nana does. I just run a bubble bath and put on a little Nat King Cole and let the warm water and music just melt the noise away, just for a little while, okay? Yeah, because sometimes you just have to let your thoughts know that they can take a rest too. Just remember, some days you've done enough. Yeah, and you know what, you're doing just fine. And speaking of enough, you're enough. I'm so glad that you called. Yeah, thank you so much for calling. Mm-hmm. Okay, next message.
Hi, Nana. I was just ringing to ask if you have any advice on how to stay positive when things are really hard and they just don't feel like they're getting any better. Any joys, like little joys that you can find in life that just make everything seem happy and better. Really looking forward to hearing your answer, and love you so much, Nana, and thank you for all the joy and love that you bring, and I'm hoping you have some lovely advice for me to keep me going through hard times. Love you. Bye.
Oh, JD, my darling. I'm so sorry that things feel a little bit hard for you right now. Yeah, but I have to tell you something. You listen to your Nana, okay? You are stronger than you think. You have made it through every single hard day so far, and that's no small thing, I can tell you. Yeah. So when life feels a little bit dark, I need you to give yourself permission to take a break from the bad, okay? Yeah, go on a joy date. Yeah, and by joy date, I mean like visit a museum or stroll through a park to smell the flowers or pet a puppy if you see one. Believe me, that works. Yeah, because the reason you want to do that is because even though it's dark and glum some days, joy is still there, just waiting to be let in. Yeah, and that's not ignoring things. That's just taking a break from the bad. And you know what? Taking a break sometimes really helps us keep going. Yeah. And you know what? I have to tell you, all the beautiful things that you can see, Mona and Russell remind me of that every single day because they find joy in everything. And it's a great reminder. And I want you to remember something, Sweet Pea. You are not alone. If you're feeling bad, then maybe you can reach out to someone who loves you or you can just listen to your Nana, okay? you are brave, you are beautiful, and you are needed. Yeah, and the world is a much better place because you are in it. Yeah, and you know what? Hard days don't get to steal that from you. Yeah, and I hope you feel a little bit better. Thanks for calling. Next message.
Hi, Nana. Huge fan here. I just wanted to know what your favorite memory with Mona has been while you've been taking care of her when her mom drops her off.
Oh, well, Farah, what a lovely question. There are so many memories that I treasure with my sweet pea. Because Mona brings me so much joy. She really does. Being her Nana is my greatest joy. It really is. So for me, memories, I think it's the little loves that stick with me the most. The simple things like making cookies together or reading her stories and having her point out all the little fun things that she loves in the pictures. Yeah, or maybe even dancing the hula in the living room and watching her and Russell play together. Those are wonderful memories, they really are. But I do have to say that I think that when Mona rode her tricycle for the very first time, oh, yeah, that was a special moment. Yeah, it really was. To watch her figure it out and push through and to see that proud little face when she did it. Oh, my heart nearly burst. Yeah, that's the kind of memory that a Nana tucks in her apron and carries forever. Oh, thanks for the trip down memory lane, Farah. Okay, next message.
Hi, Nana. My dad just died, and I'm really sad. What do you do when you get sad? How do you make yourself feel better?
Oh, Terry. Oh, my lamb chop. I am so sorry to hear about your dad. I really am. That kind of sadness is hard to carry. Yeah, and it shows up out of nowhere, even in the canned soup aisle, doesn't it? Yeah, but when we lose someone we love, that love it doesn't just disappear. It just doesn't know where to go at first. Yeah. Sometimes when you're grieving, your love feels a bit homeless, like it doesn't have a place to live, but that's what tears are, my darling, just love looking for a place to land. Yeah, but here's the gift of grief. Eventually, that love finds its way back home into you. In those little memories and the stories that you tell and that warm feeling when you think, oh, you know what, my dad would have loved this. And even the funny things that you know about him that make you laugh your socks off. And that's when you know that love has found its feet again. Yeah. And don't forget that it is more than okay to laugh during this time right now. Laughter just helps that love settle in even better. And let's be honest, your dad would want nothing more than to see you laughing and smiling. Yeah, so until that happens, I just want you to be patient with yourself, my darling. And remember, your Nana loves you. Always. Mm-hmm.
Hi, Nana. If you could have another pet, what kind of animal would you like to have?
Oh, Tabitha, what a fun question. Well, first of all, let's be very, very clear, okay? Russell he's the love of my life. He really is. And, that little man is so loyal and loving. And occasionally he's a pain in my backside, but he always knows when I need a good cuddle. I couldn't ask for a better pet, truly. But I guess if I was to have another animal, well, I guess I'd have to pick a giraffe. A giraffe, because, as you get older, you start to shrink. And reaching the top shelves is no picnic, I can tell you. And I don't trust footstools. but a giraffe could hang and, the Christmas lights on the house or water the hanging plants or even dust the high corners in here. Very, very helpful around the house and such lovely eyelashes too. Yeah, so thank you so much for your question. It was so wonderful.
You have no new messages.
Well, there's no more messages. Well, I just have to tell you how much I enjoy hearing from you. Yeah, it means so much to this old gal. And I can't wait to hear from you again.
Rusher did it!
I gotta go. And remember, call your Nana.